Okay, then
I'm not
I'll let
prepared.
you. Okay, so
you
sorry everyone. Um, so I always start is Frank and Ivy that presents after me or before me, so I didn't even think about it. Okay, so I guess it's my dad, Seeds of Greatness, the 10 best keep secrets of total success by Denis Whitley. Without any further ado, I'll let Mr. Charlemagne take over. Thank you, Amor.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, first of all, for your patience. And I'm glad we are through. Yeah, Dennis Whitley has built a book that cover a number of life aptitude or life characteristics that lead to success. We read a book last week that taught us that reaching the riches, building an empire of wealth can be scientifically demonstrated. And if you follow those axioms or the law of getting rich, you will get rich. And this book has come to consolidate that idea. Now, I try to just take it by touching the 10 points very quickly, but I want to take a different approach tonight. And my approach will be that I would love each of us to take one seed or one key point, those attributes that Dennis Whitley used to build his book. When you guys were reading it, most probably you have some of those points have been important to you and you have considered it, or you have some have touched you and you might have taken it as one of the key. If it hasn't, you may now consider it as certain key points or one point that you want to use to share your country or to give your contribution to the presentation. And lastly, I we had this conversation here briefly, and Beyond was the one saying that he keep asking himself, or he's still struggling to know what his talents are, what he wants to do. And I second him and said that yes, even up to my age, I'm not too sure of who I am and what are my real aptitudes or what where my talent lasts the most. I do not really know. And Fred Thomas also supported the idea by saying that it is not easy at all to know who we are and what we are most uh, should be. Okay, what we are, where our abilities lie the most, and where we could contribute the most in life. And it is true. Now, with this book, I have taken advantage. He suggested certain finding your greatest gift, finding your natural ability, and so on. He suggested the book, but I went online and tried to find other resources that could be free. The Johnson Corners approach, I tried that one and it happened to be very expensive. The cheapest option is 950. However, there are other tools that GPT suggested that are equally useful. The most useful ones are very tedious, and you have to answer so many questions. And the more questions you answer, the better. That the test will lead you and give you a clear view of who you are and what you will thrive in. And if what you are doing already fits in, fine. If it not, it is never late to gear it according to Dennis. Fine tune your way slowly to what you want to do the most. So when we finish, I will just share the link with you. And I did the first test, and it wasn't, extensive, and it gave me a very slight idea, and I decided to go for the very extensive text. And it's still in progress. I haven't finished, but I will encourage everyone to do the same. So coming to the book, greatness could be achieved if we observe these 10 points. And Denis said that every person has a seed of greatness in himself ready to grow, waiting for the person to make a decision and make it move. So here is Wailtley, and his book just touched those 10 points, and I will go quickly on them, and each of us will take the responsibility to cover whichever he or she feel more comfortable with. Now, the key one that I love is the self-esteem. You can never share or whatever you want in your life, just give it. And if you cannot do anything in life without really loving yourself. And everything starts from your true worth, knowing your true worth, knowing what you are capable to of in life and what you could really do with your life is the starting point of everything. And once you believe in yourself and you see where you could get to, that will get you going. And I mentioned this in marathon running before, that true marathon is run by head, not with your strength or your muscles. Because if you are lucky, you can still be alive for 10 out of the first 10K. But the 32 left, you have to use your brain, else you will never get there. And the advice for great athletes, you don't see how many miles remain or how many kilometers remains, but you just care about if you can still move one step, just the next step. If you can and you keep moving it, you will get from milestone to milestone, you get to your destination. Then the seed of creativity, it comes in the mind. You keep failing, but Edison imagined that if you create obstruction through any method that could conduct electrons, and as they are fighting against each other, they will create light. And through multiple trial and failure, light has been created eventually. Yeah. And taking responsibility is another key one. Life is a jungle. That baby tree planted, it has to really become responsible to push itself out of ground first. But the challenges, the weeds around, the storm, and animals, the predators, they'll come, insects. For this to become a tree, it has to be a strong desire to get to the end. Otherwise, it will never happen. Yeah, and failures, they are stepping stone. You fail, you put it down, and use it as your next step to keep going. I really enjoy the book. It's so nice, so soothing, and if you read it multiple times and then try to put these things into perspective, it will greatly change your life. So having a purpose and then get it aligned. Once you get the harmony, a feather could balance a stone. And then listen, find a role model, learn from them, use your skills to hear from others. And if you truly want to lead, use lead through empathy by trying to understand other people's perspective, see the skill in them, and help them achieve it. That is where you will be a true leader. And as you are doing that to others, do it to yourself by listening and through real communication. You gain by getting from outside, not by giving out. And then you should have faith. Faith is the most powerful thing that anyone can have. You have to have faith, see your destination ahead, and put yourself to work, and it will eventually bring you there. Then adaptability is the key. Once you move one way and it doesn't work, readjust and then flex your muscle and move into other way. Eventually, you will get there. It doesn't mean you quit, but life belongs to the people who are flexible. And then perseverance. This is airplane from the essence. And imagine where we are today. The two seed planters die from it, but the dream never ends. And we should use our setbacks to move into a different direction. Setback doesn't mean it ends. You turn mean you get to a dead end, turn around and continue, but see challenge as opportunity. And when you do that, you will keep going and get to greatness in life. So that being said, these are the 10 attributes that Dennis Watley has used to define greatness. And if we truly use them, it will change our life and lead us to, uh, 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 wonders. Thank you very much. And I pass the floor to the next person to take one attribute at a time so that we recover them. Thank you.
Mm,
Thank you.
thank
Thank you.
you.
You are very welcome.
Simple.
All right. That was nice
Like
and
Dion.
quick,
Yeah,
like
like Dion.
beyond,
Yeah,
almost
we
getting
are
to
learning.
beyond. Good job. Good job, Amoy. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for the
No problem.
great presentation. Uh, I'm gonna go quickly. Um, uh, a great book. I didn't get a chance to finish the book, but I'll do that for sure. My my the seed that really gets to me is the seed of wisdom, which is something that I'm trying to work on, that I'm, at this point in life I'm struggling with. So it kind of grabbed me. So the seed of wisdom, seek to understand not just information, learn from every experience and person. Knowledge is power only when it is applied. So it's a very deep, to me, it feels like the Maslow hierarchy. And it, I feel like it's one of those that is completely at the top. And continuous work, continuous work, continuous awareness of one's weakness, to be able to get to that to that wisdom. One never stop learning, and I feel like this is something that we can never stop trying to work towards it, me personally. So other than that, the seed of responsibility is something, also taking responsibility, whether it's something that you said, it's whether it's something that you did, being able to acknowledge that and do better. And taking responsibility makes builds up self-esteem too. It builds up a lot of stuff in oneself. So that's a little bit my takeaway from the book. With that, I will open the floor to the next person um, to talk about the book a little bit. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fisher.
Yeah.
All right. I can chip in quickly. Um, so thank you, Cousin, for the great presentation. It's short and straight to the point, right? So thank you
No
for
problem.
putting
Thank you too.
all of this together. For me, this book and these seeds, we learn a lot of about some of them. For example, seed number one, the self-esteem. When we read the psycho-cybernetic,
Mm.
that's the basic of the psycho-cybernetic, right? You have to have a self-esteem. Self-esteem is a basis of a lot of success. So if you don't believe in yourself, you don't think you are worthy and can do it, you cannot go far. So we learned this before, and I really like it. Uh, that's one of the seed that I try to work on. Since we read psycho cybernetic, right? Psycho
Yeah,
cybernetic.
psychocybernetic. Yeah.
Yeah, I read that book multiple times, and that is one thing I that is one thing I use on a daily basis in my work, right? Even though it's become challenging, I tell myself I can do it, right? And find ways to all the resources I have to get the job done. So self-esteem is one big thing that's help succeed. So another of the seed that I'm working on is a communication. Communication is one thing I have a challenge with, right? Um, I may be thinking something or I'll say something else, and the person you are communicating with kind of reacts differently, and you wonder why they're acting the way they are at. So that is one thing that I I have challenge with, like what I like me. I'm straightforward, right? So a lot of people don't like the direct talk, right?
Yeah.
You have to sugarcoat it, and I have issue with it at work as well, especially being in a leadership position. You go directly and tell people, okay, this is happening. You could do this, and like people don't like it, right? So I feel like that's something I have to work on, the seed of communication, to kind of learn to sugarcoat stuff a little bit or say the truth in a softer way, right?
Mm.
So that's one thing that is very important in in life. And adaptability, I think I'm good about it. When situation change, I can change with it, and and be
Yeah, that's
flexible,
it. Mhm.
right? So yeah, those are self-esteem and communication is my two big one. And thank you again, Charlie, for the presentation.
Thank you
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you.
I loved it. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Tata Colombo.
Right. All right.
Right.
Thomas, your turn. You're not the one to lead the meeting,
It's
so
all
what you have
right.
to do with me.
It's all
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
She
Christelle
can.
should remember last week, if people are not self-designating and then moving forward, you are the leader.
Oh, okay. No problem. All right. The floor is open. We're doing great on time, so I didn't want to pressure anyone. So, whomever feels free to take on, go ahead.
Let me go quickly then.
Okay.
Thank you, Charlie, and for the presentation. You took
You're
it
welcome.
like conversational. It's not like you were reading necessary, even though that you have the document prepared. It was more conversational and easy to comprehend. And thank you for that. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for quick summary of the seed as well. And if I had to go for any seed, I will go for the seed of creativity. And it's for me, it seems like the seed of creativity and seed of faith, they're almost like twins, you know? Why? Because
Mhm.
creativity
Let me see.
even eh?
No, no, I was trying to see which one is where I place the seat of
Number
creativity.
two.
Two.
Number two,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, the seed of creativity, it seems like almost how it's blended with faith. Because when you create
Mm,
it in your mind, you have to have a faith that it will happen. And I like the method that he gave to us. I can't remember if we read that book from I cannot remember his name now, but he was talking how you can create your own programming tape, and exactly the way it's supposed to do. He explained it because he said you take your own
mhm.
voice and
Yes.
take a music and you drown your voice, because sometimes you might be saying that, oh, I have millions, and the logic mind will say, what millions you have in your account? You only have $1, and you are saying that you have 1 million. So to avoid that, you take the music to drown your voice, so that the logic mind doesn't hear it, but the creativity, the art mind do. I think it's the right mind that hear it, but the logic, which is the left one, does not hear, will hear only the music. So that's very, very important. And I feel like he just explained to us how to use our positive mind, how to use our power of our subconscious is what he. Apart from that, I think he was very, very spoiled with knowledge by living with his grandma, because the grandma had time. It's not like, oh, my boss is coming, my boss asked me to do this one. So the grandma has time. And during those conversations, the grandma share a lot of knowledge with him, which is very, very important. And as says, it's good to come back again to this book, because there are a lot of quick example how to do, especially the way he was talking about those who are POW, how POW, those who are war, how do they call it, them? Prisoner, yeah, prisoner of war. Those one, they didn't have time, they didn't have the communication tools, but they were doing everything in their mind. So the mind is so powerful that sometimes we forget, and we were thinking about only with our only five senses. So it's important that we remind ourselves to go back to the mind and trying to, as he was saying, to see the flower blossom, to hear the how the birds in the morning, or all these small things that we don't have time nowadays to listen to. On that, thank you, and thank you again for the person who suggests this book.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prayer
thank
Room.
you.
Thank you.
All right. Who is next? Feel free. We're still doing great on time. So, Beyond, you want to take the floor?
Look like you are muted.
Sherelle, Sylvania, you guys feel free.
I don't really have a lot to say personally today. It was a good presentation, Charlie. made everything pretty clear. Um, this was another one of those like show what we've learned, but in a slightly different way kind of books. I did like the idea of like seeds and how they're planted, but ironically, I feel like the examples were what's the word? A lot of them were a lot older than like Thomas Edison, the Wright brothers. I think those are good examples, but it's also like there's a lot of like modern cases, right? Like Steve Jobs,
Mhm.
Gates, Bezos, right? So I think like the seeds have a lot of modern cases that we can also refer to, and just because the path that someone else took in the past isn't available anymore doesn't mean that like we can't use those seeds now, because that's one thing I was trying to figure out myself was like, how do I apply what the Wright brothers did to my life now, right? But I guess it's more just like the general lessons of perseverance, and that's about it from me. That's yeah. There wasn't a lot on this book that like inspired me, I guess I would say. So, thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you, Shira.
Forget that the book was written in 1983.
I
So,
wanted to say that.
but
Okay. Al- Almost 50 years. Yeah.
So, it's okay. Can I go in?
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you, Charlie, for the presentation.
You're
And
welcome.
I really, really admire it for the form, but also the timing. And we might later decide, maybe in the book club, to say for every presentation, we'll let nobody go above 15 minutes
Mm,
in the future, right? To learn a little how to have a summary instead of just go through the whole, because we all supposed to read before we get here.
you
And
bet.
beyond that, the president Charlie is doing, then we wish everyone doing that in the future. I'm just off track. I haven't started about the book. Um,
You just spend 1 minute.
Yeah.
yeah. The second thing, the title of the book, Seed of Greatness, right?
Mm,
And the seed, the belief is there. But let's look. A couple of weeks ago, I suggested that we all prepare the book as if we are the one who gonna present, and we say we're gonna think about it. But let's say today, if Charlie didn't come, and you see Crystal went all the way to say, Fred Thomas, you have the floor to present, but I didn't prepare. So
mm.
if Charlie was not available today, how we gonna do for this book? Are we going to be able to present, or what will be this evening about what we would do? So that's something to think about. Shall we at some point decided to really to assume every book that we are coming here for, we dig enough, we are ready to present. If one person is not available, and an hour before, and the person tests to say, hey, by the way, I won't be able to attend today, we can say, okay, just share your screen, your presentation, but someone else in the group will take on and go, because we all prepare for it, right? And greatness start from there. And when you prepare for the worst, not so many things goes wrong in your day-to-day activity. So these are just comments. Now, coming back to the book, for me, the main one really that apply to all of them is faith, because faith we're
Yeah.
gonna feed everything, to take responsibility, to persevere, to have a purpose, the communication, all of that, adaptability, everything. The faith has to be behind all of them. So mm, the the one that I pick and that talk a lot to me is perseverance. It's perseverance, feed by faith. Because if you don't believe, If you look around or you live with people who are failing and who already abandoned, then you fail, right? So perseverance is the one for me. And if you remember my question, I always ask how you get to Carnegie Hall.
Practice,
Practice,
practice.
Practice, practice,
practice,
practice,
practice.
practice, my son.
So to not give up, right?
Mm,
To not give up and practice and continue. Because like they say, failure is not really the failure, is when you quit that you fail.
yeah,
But then you can use adaptability, all of the other way to continue going, right? And one way also to persevere is to read biography of people who came from modest background or challenging condition, but didn't use the challenge as excuses, right? They try, they fail, they try, they keep going until reaching big results. And what everyone see today is just the result. We don't see the struggle. It's only when you read the biography that you can see how much they feel. And thank you. Charlie gave an example of Einstein or Einstein. Yeah, Einstein. Okay, I was speaking English. So
yeah,
yeah, we need to read biography. So when you get to tough situation, things seem to be like it's just really, really dark. People been there before you, likely. And if you read some of this stuff before, you know it's not the end, right? Like when you're
yeah,
running marathon and you feel like your body is about to collapse, that you cannot. But if you have faith and you persevere, you get there. And we read here, like Zig Ziglar is a good example.
hmm,
If you go to
yeah,
YouTube, you can just listen to his audio on YouTube. Some of the video also, he talked about his background, right? When he was
hmm,
little. The same thing for Jim Rohn, Les
yeah,
Brown, Cesar Almond, Ogmandino, Nelson Mandela, and should I talk about Jeff Bezos recently? So that's my contribution. We need to get to Carnegie Hall.
yeah.
That's
By
all I've got.
practicing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fred Thomas.
Yeah,
And
Thank
you're
you.
welcome.
something amazed me. Saint Thomas talking about faith. Yeah.
And
Mhm.
you know, a funny thing is when we talk about faith, it does not have to be religious
Correct.
necessarily. It's you believing in anything. It's you having the faith or the imagination, just like
Uh,
Farah said, because those two intertwine the creativity, seeing things being realistic, seeing things positive in that way. So I just wanted to say that. But thank you for
I, I,
continuing.
I think he's being sarcastic. He didn't get it. Maybe it's because Saint
Yeah.
Thomas or Thomas
Oh
in the
no, I
Bible.
understand. No, 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 no.
Okay.
It doesn't. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It doesn't have to do with anything what my dad said. But I understand what he's saying. He's been sarcastic. But when he was talking, when Fred Canavia was talking, I was just thinking to relate faith does not have to be spiritual because most of the time when we hear faith, we think it's religion,
Oh,
religion.
it's
No,
okay.
no.
I
spirituality,
see.
and so on.
Okay, I
Yeah,
Mm,
get it.
but
I get
yeah, I got the gist of
it.
the joke. Yeah, thank you. All right. All
Um,
right. So
me,
we still have two people.
oh,
Yeah.
you still have two people. Otherwise, if they don't want to
Yeah.
talk, and still quickly go if you
If they
allow
want
me.
to,
Okay.
beyond Giovanni, if they don't want to, it's okay.
It's okay. Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, I want to come back to two things that the image of the failure
mhm.
is very very, I mean, visually is very very powerful
Yeah.
because
Ah,
is you are in the water and is the failure that is helping you to move up, to move, toward
forward.
your target, forward is the word. Yeah, forward to your target. So it's very very powerful. Probably I might take it, and nowadays even you take a picture, you don't want that picture exactly, you just ask ChatGPT to describe the picture for you, and you take the description to create a similar.
Your own.
Uh,
Oh.
yeah, yeah. So that's and also I'll come back to the communication of Sister Colomb,
Mhm.
and there. I mean, she said that she's so duress, she's that. Yeah, I'm living with one. But the way I normally, since I'm not that type of person, but since I'm living with one, I can make how trying to make the comparison is the fact that when I'm talking and I don't want to be too rough,
Mhm.
I create a loop of observation and listening. So if I say and I suppose it's supposed to come to you as but I realize that you are thinking about C, I'm observing your face, I'm observing your reaction. And immediately that the feedback come to me and I realize that it's not that you are getting, I'll change
Mhm.
and say, yeah, is in the apple, is in the apple. You get my point. So in
Yeah.
that condition, I tend not to speak faster. If
Okay.
I need
Yeah.
the feedback, yeah, I tend not to speak faster and trying to listen more than speaking. Even though that you throw the word, you throw your communication out, trying to listen twice and speak once. And
Mm.
as the other people, I mean, people normally say, they say that's why we have two ears and one mouth.
One mouth.
So it's the way I get around the communication. And I know that I'm not expert in the communication, but almost, I know how to use the emotion in my communication. I'm listening, and if I realize that, oh, I was talking something that's supposed to make you laugh, but you change your face, then I'll change. It's not going to be the same word that I will use to deliver my message again.
Mm.
All right,
Thank
thank
Yeah.
you.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank
Thank
you.
Mm.
you.
Yeah, and if I may add something to that, that's why I chose the empathy that Dennis used in his book. And he said if you want to communicate and
Mhm.
you start by looking at the situation from the other person's perspective
Hmm.
and trying to soothe that person first and probably use Frere Arun's technique by giving the floor to the person. It doesn't always work though, but you could try to see it from the person's perspective, giving the floor to the person,
Mhm.
and then use his or her own approach to get him to the goal. I can give an example. One of my coworkers has been the other one doesn't he doesn't like to help by teaching because he think it wastes his time,
Mm.
and then went ahead by showing how bad it is to at least trying to teach and then allowing the person to fail, as I was saying, and the person will learn from it because we are planting seeds and we should lose some, but eventually look into harvest and we get it. I said that, but the guy kept dodging it, and then he himself have been making mistakes. And one of them was, I said, okay, before you dismantle anything on a bay, we have only one. Make sure we get the parts. And you can put the vehicle on, remove all the four legs, and then remove the stomach or the all the intestine, and then realize that we don't have the part, and the car was sitting there and blocking everything. Nothing could be done easily because you could not put it together and we could not just buy the part. And when I came, I said, okay, oh, these situations happen. And then I said, okay, what can we do now? And trying to see whether he himself, and then he started blaming himself that, oh, this is, and I said, no, we have been allowing other people to waste your time here. So why this is also part of it? You get the point. And he said, oh yes, it's true, but however, this is totally bad because now we have to do things manually. Meanwhile, we could lift the vehicle up easily and so on. And I kept saying, no, if you spend a week, 2 weeks here with no mistakes, it means you are doing nothing. So it's part of it. And I
Mhm.
use that slowly to allow him to accept that the other guy should be able to make mistakes
as well.
while he's teaching him. And eventually he took it. But it is not easy. It is not easy at all to lead. But when you go by empathy, looking at the situation from the other person's perspective first, and letting the person come forward and use his or her words or presentation to touch the point, it sometimes helps better. They help you themselves quickly touch their own weaknesses and try to res- resolve it, rather than when I came and I say, oh, I've already told you guys so many times, let us not buy this, remove the part before we get it. Now what are we going to do? The bay is blocked and we cannot do anything. We start using jack to jack things up, crawling under vehicle. Then the guy is sad for the whole week until that vehicle is fixed, and nothing else is going to be done. You see, so
Yeah.
it's hard. It is hard, but empathy plays a big role.
Mhm.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Shali.
Yeah.
No problem.
So we have about 10 minutes left. The floor is open to anyone who wants to say anything.
So me again. Um,
Okay.
You again?
yeah. Uh, how do you get to Carnegie Hall?
Practice.
Practice, practice,
So
practice, practice.
yeah, I asked that question because this morning I decided to use Duolingo, right?
Mm.
Because I watched a show how this is made, and the guy who created the website, his background, all of that, how he get to create it, and I say I'm gonna use it to learn. And yesterday I was watching a TV, and a couple who are like they help people to get a visa and residency and find apartment in Italy. I think Florence or somewhere in Italy.
Mm.
And the husband and the wife, they're not from the same country, but the wife keep using Duolingo for I think more than a year. Every day she goes on and she speak Spanish fluently. She speak Italian fluently. You won't know that she's not native. So yesterday I decided to download Duolingo and I'm gonna go to Carnegie Hall mindset. So
Practice,
right,
practice.
and so a year from now, if anyone can remember, a year from now, I will be speaking Spanish to you.
Ooh, love it.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
A
I
great
love the
commitment.
So
challenge.
I'm taking that road. If anyone is interested, but I'm taking
Mhm.
that road. I'll start from Spanish and then I'll select something else. But a year from now, I'll be good in
That's
Spanish.
awesome.
So,
And
Awesome. I love the idea.
that's
Great.
really really good. But don't forget that nowadays we have Gemini as well. Gemini from Google that you can start the conversation. You
okay.
yeah
Okay.
is yeah
Ah.
Gemini is let me put my camera on and let's say you turn on and you go to Gemini and you say
You sharing your screen?
no, I'm not
Please
sharing any
share.
Oh,
screen.
okay.
I'm sharing
Mm.
my cell phone, my
Okay.
Android. Hi
Mhm.
Gemini, I want to learn Spanish and I want you to give me few words for the starting.
Hola. That's hello in Spanish. Are you ready to learn some more basic words? We can
Yes.
start with please and would you like to know how to say those?
Yes, please.
Okay. Please is por favor in Spanish, and thank you is gracias. Would you like to try pronouncing them?
No, I'll come back to you. Thank you, Law.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
Okay.
anywhere you are, it's not necessary to diminish the value of a Duolingo, but this one as well is like I mean conversational, and especially if you are growing up, he can Gemini can challenge you. He can challenge
Okay.
you and say, "Oh," because I say starting. If I say, "Oh, it's the middle," then the conversation is like fluently, and I, I know a lot of tricks, but most of the time I don't practice them. To be honest.
Okay.
You are not alone.
Yeah, I started Duolingo about a month ago,
Mm,
and I will say and repeat. It's easy to think of from French to Spanish. It's
Yeah.
easy
mhm, mhm, mhm.
to learn it that way. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, it's easy to remember. And the
Mhm.
next day I go back and I start thinking in English and I miss the question and I push it back.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
and most of the time when you learn a word, try to remember there now. How?
yeah,
When you learn a new word, try to link it, make a
so
linkage to remember it immediately. Otherwise, you might say, "Oh, I repeat it twice," but most of the time, I remember that there's a technique called mnemonic. Mnemonic.
yes,
Those
I
techniques, yeah, I quickly create something and say, "Oh, okay, this, that," and that method was the other guy. What's his name? Uh, Charlie will help me to remember. Michael something. Remember that
Mhm.
vocabulary? 1 million vocabulary
Oh
from.
yeah, Michael,
Eh,
Michel Thomas.
yes, Michel Tovar. I
Hmm.
know that is or something
Hmm.
like that.
Michael Thomas. Yeah,
Yeah, he's big on that one.
he's
He will teach you how to
yeah.
pronounce, how to remember things easily,
Hmm.
very
Yeah.
very easily. So
yeah.
yeah, we
Okay.
are we have to be thankful that we are alive during this time of period. That everything, the knowledge is at finger.
At the fingertip.
Yes, fingertip.
Yeah. I remember when we first came in here
Mm,
20 years ago,
mm.
map is a map quest. Or sometimes
Mm.
you have to use the paper map of the
Yes,
Mm.
city
I bought
to
one. I bought.
to go where you want, right?
Hmm.
But now you just use your cell phone
Hmm.
and it's guide you where you
Hmm.
want to do. So
Yeah.
you can see how things has changed quickly,
Mm-hmm.
and the information is so accessible.
I like the fact that Fred Thomas keep coming back. How to get to Canada here? He said,
Practice.
practice,
Yeah, we
practice.
need to
I,
we
ha- I
need
have,
to tell
I
the
have,
kid.
I have
Hmm.
another, almost the same concept from John C. Maxwell, who
Mm-hmm.
was dreaming to play golf, and they say,
Hmm.
"Oh, you have to pay the price, and the price here is 37 hours a week." And he said, "I cannot do it."
You
Yeah.
pass on that one.
Yeah. So
7 hours.
yeah, so anytime that I want to go back to that, I say you have to pay the price. You have,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Having said a couple of things about learning Spanish learning,
Mm,
thank you, Freya Arun, for Gemini. I never used it
mm,
before, and I had a question about if anyone has been using it already. Whenever I want to do something, that Gemini quickly freezes my screen and appear at the bottom. So how do you guys use it? I always said, okay, next time I'm going to try it and then do something, but I've never used it. Do you know what I'm talking about? If you hold if
mm,
people who use Android, I don't know if iOS does the same thing, but if you hold it from the bottom very quickly,
mm.
Google AI covers the page and wants you to use AI to do what you want to do.
Right.
No. Did you get Gemini app? It has an
No.
app. No, it's not Google, simple Google. It's a Gemini app.
Okay.
You go
Okay.
on it and is
Like the GTP. Okay.
yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now, Has anyone ever used that thing that I'm talking about? If yes,
You
probably
mean
give
the
us.
microphone?
N- Not the microphone.
It
When
has
you
it
want to
has
do
that.
something on your phone and then you made a before it used to pop off my credit cards if I pull it from the bottom, but now it just cover the screen very quickly as AI, and I've already used it once because I wanted to know the name of an image and then I square that image and then it described it to me, but I never went in depth.
The browser. You know that
Hmm.
the browser, Chrome browser, is they are fighting against it to
To
get it
make it
down.
like
Yeah,
default.
no,
Mm.
not that. Other company like ChatGPT now has a browser. Perplexity has a browser, and they normally call it
Oh,
as, yeah, a AI browser. So him
okay.
too, he doesn't want to lose the fight, and he's
Mm.
incorporating those AI
The
feature.
AI into,
Yeah,
okay,
yes, that's why. Otherwise, you
okay.
can go directly to download the Gemini.
Gemini, okay.
Yeah, and is where you can converse. And
Okay.
while you are conversing, is writing all your conversation down. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
if,
it's a
okay.
memory.
yeah, from
Mm-hmm.
memory. So even you go
Yeah,
back to it, you can still copy and paste it somewhere else.
okay. Yeah, so coming back to Duolingo, yes, it has its advantage though, because it creates that desire for you to continue doing, which is very good, and they have, built the app in a way that you can't. Right now, I think I'm at 100. This time, I'm at 320 days nonstop. The first
Yeah,
time I've gone that far.
I think.
Those tricks that they have put in it make it great. But
Yeah.
this thing that you talk about, just quick second, I want to place one word.
Mm,
They kept trying to make you pay and
mm.
then to use the pay version by telling you that it is built with AI and so on. When they mention it once, twice, then I decided to go to GPT and use it. And what you just did, I have been doing in GPT to converse with so on, so that I can have conversational, time in Spanish or in Italian from time to time, and it works wonders. So uh, I will try the Gemini maybe so that I can keep things that I do because I use GPT for so many things, and then sometimes I want to go back to some of the stuff that I've done, and then it is a mess. So thank you very much for bringing up that idea. And those who are getting into uh, 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 into Duolingo, if you decide eventually that we should go to the pay version, we may, because we can have a family of seven, and
Yeah,
then
that's what they say. Mm.
yeah, and it may be worth it because it is a very good app to help learn the language. And
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
and also there's another one. It's a little bit old system, old that I thought that Charlie will talk about it, but he didn't. It was
Rosetta Stone.
Rosetta
Rosetta.
Stone.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Duolingo kill Rosetta Stone.
Yeah, because
Yes, almost.
Rosetta is very good,
But
but
it's
it doesn't
expensive.
have that. Yeah, it doesn't have that. Push.
Yeah,
It didn't
gamification.
make it fun. Yeah,
It didn't gamify it because here
exactly.
is like almost like a game, and
Yeah,
it's forcing you to challenge yourself and all
exactly.
this.
Mm.
And they learned the lesson already. That's why now Rosetta Stone is selling lifetime almost 180 lifetime, and you have all the languages,
Oh wow.
Okay.
all the languages. So
Yeah, because
But
this
it
guy
is
from
very good.
yeah,
It's
it
really,
is.
really good.
It
Yeah.
is. It is.
this guy from Duolingo, he right now is only 6% subscriber for the pay version, and that's where they make their money. Everyone else is
Mm.
94, and they have the ad.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
94% is just no pay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Thank
also
you. Okay.
go to the library and talk to them. Not necessarily going to the library. I don't know if
Mhm.
you know, but if you go to the your library website, there is one area there that they say ask library.
Yeah.
ask the
Yeah.
library, and you
Mm.
send them an email within 24 to 48 hours, they will respond to you. So you can ask them if they have those
Rosetta Stone. Mm.
yeah, no, Rosetta Stone or Duolingo or all this,
Mhm.
because they have a lot of programs
Offers.
to learn languages, not only those two that we are talking about here.
Okay.
They have
Mhm.
several. So
Mm.
you just send them, and you don't even need to go, and they will respond back to you. And it's
Thank you.
yeah.
That's a great. I will go to the library website, and I
Mm.
remember they used to have Rosetta Stone. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So
Oh.
okay, we are
All right.
getting
that's what I have to say. Mm.
It's
Mm.
10 after 2. I believe
Ah.
next week I'm presenting on Monday, and I'm not too sure who is moderating.
uh,
One more.
Probably YouTube. So who has the
Holy
list?
K. Holy
He
K is
has.
moderating.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Mm.
So the next book for me will be the Almanac, or which one?
Mm-hmm.
hold on, let me see if I can.
However, no one ever didn't talk before you move far. Please try this. I left it on the page. This
Mhm.
is a very good test. I have other two that are, but if we start with this,
Explain that.
it can help.
Sure.
It's called 1, 2, 3 test. Okay, and
Can you send
you,
the link
the
or
link.
something?
Okay, I'll add the link to the bottom of the presentation. Mm,
Okay.
okay. So you can continue with what
Uh,
you're
uh,
saying,
uh,
and
uh,
I will add another one that is the one that is very extensive that I'm using
mm,
now. I'll add to it, and it is worth doing it.
yeah, and I will
Mhm.
request. Nicely request, even though that you put them in the at the bottom of your presentation, put them
Yeah.
directly as well into the work,
Okay.
so that
Yeah.
people will be curious by just
Better.
checking that one. So you can
Yeah.
add both places.
Oh,
Okay.
Beyond want to say something?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay, first I want to thank Charlie for the great presentation
Thank
and
you too.
how the 10 seeds, the one I knew all too well, is seed of wisdom.
Oh,
Mhm.
Be- Because because I made my mistakes, paid for them in one way, shape, or form, and learned from them, and got wise to what works and what doesn't.
oh.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Okay.
Bill.
Thank you, Beyond. Yeah,
Oh,
Thank
thank you
great.
you.
right there.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Awesome contribution.
Yeah. All right. It is 10:04. Like I was saying, I believe I'm presenting next week, and Fred Thomas is moderating.
Yeah.
If anyone doesn't have anything else, we're gonna call it a night. I wish you guys all have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
You.
you. You too.
Thank
All
you very
right.
Bye.
much. Yeah.
Have
Bye,
a
All
good
everyone.
right.
night.
Bye.
Yeah, try to get to Carnegie Hall.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
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 Bye.